Welcome back to this live stream for Penn and Lehigh, this FCS matchup. Lehigh coming in ranked number 10 in the FCS poll. We are at halftime. Lehigh leading Penn 16-14. Let's run down some first half stats in this game. Start with the yardage in this game. Lehigh, 298 yards in the first half. Penn at 155. Just 11 rushing yards for Penn in that first half. Lehigh did a great job shutting down the Penn running game in that first half. Individual stats, let's start on the Lehigh side. Hayden Johnson passing the football 10 of 22, 155 yards and 1 touchdown. His completion percentage not all that great. His 10 completions were to 5 different receivers. Jeffrey Jamil, the leading receiver in that first half for Lehigh, 5 receptions, 60 yards. Mason Humphrey, 2 catches in that first half for 57 yards, a catch each for Davino, Yoder, and Feaster. Davino has the receiving touchdown for 22 yards. Rushing the football, Yoder, 9 carries, 80 yards in the first half. Jaden Green, 8 carries, 59 yards. He had the ankle. It looked like an ankle injury there towards the end of the first half. For Lehigh, as they have 298 yards of offense. Meanwhile, for Penn, on their side, the quarterback Liam O'Brien passing the football 13 of 15, 144 yards and a touchdown. B.G. Owens, 7 receptions, 85 yards, and the 1 receiving touchdown, 4 receptions, 47 yards. In the first half for Penn for Jared Richardson. And 2 catches, 11 yards for Ellis in that first half. But running game's been pretty much MIA in that first half for Penn. Stokes, 3 carries for 32 yards for Julian Stokes. But outside of that, Williams, 2 carries, 1 yard. So it has just been a non-existent running game in that first half for Penn. I mentioned just 11 rushing yards in the first half for Penn. And they find themselves, though, only down by 2 points, 16-14, as we get ready to start half number 2 from Goodman Stadium in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The number 10 team in FCS, Lehigh, leading this game, but only by 2 in the first half over Penn. To run down some other scores from the FCS level, Cornell and Yale, Ivy League opener for both those teams. That is a 14-all game as that game is approaching halftime. Dartmouth leading Central Connecticut 20-14. Columbia 16-3 lead over Georgetown. Fordham 14-7 over Holy Cross, Patriot League opener for both those teams. We are just about ready to start the second half. And a good crowd on hand. Run down some FBS level scores real quick. Number 16, Georgia Tech trailing Wake Forest at the half 17-3. Notre Dame has pulled away from Arkansas. Number 22, Notre Dame 35-13. Number 23, Illinois leading number 21, USC 14-7. Number 18, Vanderbilt and Utah State tied at 14. So the Aggies giving Vanderbilt all they want in that first half. Penn is going to receive the football to start the second half. Excuse me. Penn will receive here to start the second half, a chance to put up some points and take the lead here. as the kickoff, and we are underway in half number 2. Kickoff taken at the goal line, across the 10-yard line, 15, 20-yard line. A lot of running room. Look out. 40, 45, 50, out of bounds into Lehigh territory. A phenomenal kickoff return to start the second half. That's Julian Stokes on the return for Penn, and Penn is starting in Lehigh territory. They're going to say Stokes went out of bounds. See where they spot this football. They spot it at the 34-yard line, so a 66-yard kickoff return. No, now they're moving the football back. I thought he stepped out of bounds around the 40, but that... And then that's where they're putting it, right at the 40. So first down for Penn from there as we begin the second half. So make it a 60-yard kickoff return for Stokes. Penn, for the first time, starting a drive in plus territory. Liam O'Brien back to work. He'll hand off on first. No, he won't hand off. It's a fake handoff over the middle. Pass complete up to the 20-yard line. 10 and out of bounds into the red zone. First and goal for Penn. The reception made for Jared Richardson. And the Quakers, a first and goal, trying to strike very quickly here to open the second half. "35-yard pass to Richardson. First and goal at the 5. Penn looks to take the lead here on the first possession of the second half. O'Brien out of the gun. O'Brien looking, corner of the end zone. It is caught for a Penn touchdown. Jared Richardson again with the reception from 5 yards, and Penn grabs the lead here on the opening series of the third quarter. Liam O'Brien found his receiver, Richardson. And the extra point here to make it a 5-point lead for Penn to open the second half. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. He hooked it. So the score will stay 20-16. That wouldn't really make any difference because if 4 or 5, it didn't really affect. Lehigh would still need a touchdown. But Penn marches down the field, gets a great kickoff return, and marches 40 yards for a go-ahead score. And they lead this game 20-16. A 2-play, 40-yard drive. A Liam O'Brien to Jared Richardson 5-yard touchdown pass. And Penn leading number 10 Lehigh 20-16 here in the third. So now Lehigh, for the first time, will have to come from behind. And Lehigh, was wondering there in the first half, the way they were driving down the football, but they had to settle for 3 field goals instead of getting touchdowns there on 3 drives in the first half, and wonder if that was going to come back later on, that they couldn't convert that into a touchdown, and that is looming very large right now as they now trail by 4 with 14:05 to go in quarter number 3. But we will see this Lehigh offense out for the second time following this TV timeout after the go-ahead score for Penn. Again, want to remind you, I'll be back on the live stream tonight for Alabama and Georgia, that big matchup in the SEC. Is it a playoff elimination game for Alabama? They are already sitting with 1 loss. So, and they would start off with a conference loss as well. So this is, you don't want to say it's a must win for Alabama, but if they get a second loss, they would probably have to be at win out stage the rest of the season. So a big game tonight in the SEC, and then we'll be back with you for a live stream Sunday night for Micah Parsons' return to Dallas. Packers and Cowboys will be on for a live stream tomorrow night as well, and be on with you Monday night as well. Said I was going to live stream the Broncos-Bengals game on Monday night. That may change. I may end up going to the Jets-Dolphins game, but I'll update you. I'll have an announcement for sure tomorrow night during the Sunday night game. Here's the kickoff. And on a bounce, that's a live football, and it goes out of bounds at the 1 yard line prior to going into the end zone. So a kickoff out of bounds. Lehigh is going to get this ball at the 35. Wise decision there for the kick returner, letting that ball go out of bounds. I thought when that bounced, and then he let it go by. That was a live football. I was like, uh-oh. And then Green wisely made the decision to let that go out of bounds. So good to see Jaden Green back in the lineup as he was that kick returner for Lehigh. He got banged up there at the end of the first half, but good to see he's back in there and good to go. So Lehigh, with their first possession of the second half, has a 1st and 10 at the 35. Here's a handoff on first down. Big run up the middle and up across the 45, up to the 49-yard line. 14 yards on that run and a first down. And the big game continues for Luke Yoder. First down up at the 49-yard line. Yoder now up to 96 yards on 11 carries. And now left side into Penn territory on this carry. That'll be good for 3 more for Yoder, bringing up 2nd and 7 at the 48 of Penn. Two minutes old into this third quarter. They're calling it 2nd and 8 at the 49 here. Johnson with a man in motion. Johnson takes the snap, fakes the handoff. This time he's going to throw it. He's going to throw it deep down the field. Has a man. There was some contact, and that's going to be interference on Penn. That's going to be 15 yards. So pass interference will move the football up inside the 35-yard line of Lehigh. Clearly, Mason Humphrey, the intended receiver, he was clearly hit before the ball got there. So that will move it to the 34 and set up a 1st and 10 for Lehigh. 12:43 remaining in quarter number 3. Handoff on first down, right side, inside the 30-yard line, up to the 29-yard line. Goes Yoder, and he goes over the 100-yard rushing mark with those 5 yards. Anyone watching my live stream, I do want to apologize for my voice and for the sinuses have gotten me a little bit today, so I do want to apologize for the little bit of the scratchy throat and situation. 2nd down and not 5, football at the 29-yard line. Jackson has Yoder in the backfield with him again. Jackson takes the snap, gives it to Yoder again. Yoder will have a first down inside the 20, 15, 10-yard line and brought down at the 9-yard line. It's 1st and goal. And that was not Yoder in the backfield that got that carry. That was Aaron Crossley, sophomore out of Exeter, Pennsylvania, getting that carry. It's the first time we've seen him in this game. There is a flag that came in here, and they are marching back. This 20-yard pickup is going to be nullified. Didn't see what exactly the call was, but it is a 5-yard penalty against Lehigh. So back to the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 11. Clock running, 11:40, third quarter. Johnson takes the shotgun snap. Johnson looking left side, open receiver, pass is caught inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Gain of 7 brings up 3rd down and 4 for Lehigh. Matt Davino with the reception. He caught the touchdown in the first half for Lehigh. Lehigh needs 4 on this 3rd down. Football sitting at the Penn 28-yard line. Johnson again takes the snap. Johnson the handoff. This will be a 1st down for Lehigh inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. That was Crosley again getting the carry. And a new set of downs for the Mountain Hawks. First down, Lehigh. Football at the 23-yard line of Penn, nearing the 10-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Johnson rolling out, taking the snap, throwing right side, pass incomplete. Be 2nd down and 10. Jamil, the intended receiver. A little bit behind him, but still a catch you figure Jamil should probably make. Clock is stopped with exactly 10 minutes remaining in the 3rd. 2nd down and 10, Lehigh, ball at the Penn 23. Johnson. It's a direct snap almost to Yoder, and Yoder goes inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Give Yoder 4 there, setting up 3rd down and 6. Wasn't quite a direct snap, but close to it. Lehigh in the red zone, 3rd down. They need to get to the Penn 13 for a 1st down. Play clock down to 7. That hasn't really been a factor today. Play clock down to 2. They just get that off on 3rd down. That pass deflected at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted. That pass was deflected and nearly picked off. And another 4th down situation for Lehigh. Let's see who that was that deflected that. I didn't catch the number on who that was. So Lehigh will have to settle for another field goal attempt. This will be from 37 yards for... Oh, it's a fake! And Yoder's going to run for a touchdown! It's a fake field goal, and Lehigh runs it in for a touchdown. That was Jamil running the fake. And a 20-yard touchdown run gives Lehigh the lead back. Jamil was lined up as the holder. He took the snap and ran it in on a fake field goal and ran it 20 yards for a touchdown. Lehigh is back in front. Here comes the extra point attempt. It is up, and it is good. And the Lehigh Mountain Hawks retake the lead 23-20 with some trickery on a fake field goal. Jamil runs it in 20 yards, and Garrido's extra point gives Lehigh a 3-point lead. So not wanting to settle for a field goal for the fourth time, Lehigh runs the fake field goal play to perfection. 11-play, 65-yard drive capped off with a 20-yard touchdown for Jeffrey Jamil. And back in front goes Lehigh. That will go down as a rushing touchdown for Jamil. Running down some scores, Notre Dame has scored again right before the half. They are pounding Arkansas and Fayetteville, 42-13. Illinois held USC to a field goal at the end of the first half. Illinois leads that game 14-10. Vanderbilt has grabbed the lead on Utah State, 21-14. Those are the only ranked teams currently in action in the FBS level. Ranked team in action currently in FCS, number 23, Austin Peay and Utah Tech. That game just kicking off in Clarksville. But here, Lehigh leads Penn 23-20 on a perfectly executed fake field goal. And now Penn will have to come from behind again. An overcast 78-degree afternoon in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. This final weekend of the month of September. Lehigh set to kick this off. A short kick. And it will bounce, taking at the 24 and having to dive on it. And Penn will start this next drive at the 25-yard line. Dante West just had to dive on that ball on a short kickoff. Lehigh special teams was coming quick. So Penn will start this next drive at the 25-yard line. Lehigh leading by 3, 8:59 to go, quarter number 3. First down, Quakers at the 25. O'Brien with a handoff on first down. This is going to be a good gain of 5 yards up to the 30-yard line. That was Dante West getting the carry. It'll be second down and 5 for Penn. Second down, 5. Football sitting right at the 30. O'Brien throwing right side, pass complete. This will be a Penn first down across the 35, out of bounds. So a good gain there and move the sticks for Penn. As BC Owens with the reception, and that's a 10-yard pickup up to the 40. First down. Out of the shotgun again. O'Brien gives it off on a handoff, and this will be another 3, maybe 4 yards on first down. Second down and 7 coming up. Second and 7 for Penn at their own 43, midway point, quarter number 3. O'Brien looking to throw. It's a screen pass left side, and this will be another first down for Penn into Lehigh territory, out of bounds around the 48-yard line. First reception of the game for the wide receiver, Alex Height. First down, Penn at the 46. O'Brien takes the high snap. It's another screen pass from the other side, this time on the right side. But this time it's a minimal gain after a gain of only about 3 yards on that screen pass. Second down, 7 coming up as that screen pass went to Julian Stokes. Second down and 8 from the 44 of Lehigh. O'Brien. Here's a handoff. No, it isn't. It's a quarterback keeper for O'Brien. O'Brien goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down. There is a flag that comes in, so we'll see what this is. Flag comes in right around the 40-yard line. It's going to be a hold on Penn, so move it back 10 yards. Bringing up a second and 17. So the football moved back to Penn's own 49-yard line. Six minutes and counting to play in the third. O'Brien takes the snap, blitz coming. O'Brien's pass is going to be complete. Back to the original line of scrimmage, to the 46-yard line. Setting up third down and 10. Third and 10 for Penn. Ball at the 46. They need to get to the 36-yard line for a first down. O'Brien in trouble. O'Brien brought down and sacked. Back at the 39-yard line. The Lehigh defense comes up with a sack and will force Penn to punt. Defensive lineman Matt Spatney on the sack for Lehigh. So Penn moved the football into Lehigh territory, but a holding penalty and then a sack stalls the drive. And here's the punt. Fair catch called and that's going to be fair catch interference, I think. Penn says they've recovered the fumble, but there's going to be a flag. There was clearly a fair catch signal made. And this is going to be 15 yards, and Lehigh should get the ball around the 47-yard line. There's a replay. Clearly a fair catch signal made. And actually, an own man ran into the kick returner there, but I think he was blocked into him. Fair catch signal. Actually, you know what? On that replay, actually, I don't know. They're saying, and they're... Yeah, I'm actually not sure the Penn special teams player actually pushed the Lehigh player into the kick returner. And it looks like they may look at this. It looked clear as day initially that there was kick-catch interference, but now on the replay, I'm not sure that the Lehigh player maybe didn't just run into his own man before any contact was made by... If they rule that there was no kick-catch interference here, Penn recovered that loose ball, so they would have the football around the 32 of Lehigh. So this is a big call. I'm second-guessing my original statement of kick-catch interference looking at this replay. And they have waved off the kick-catch interference. This is going to be Penn football after the replay. So Penn is going to have the football at the 31-yard line of Lehigh after they said no kick-catch interference. So that's a big change here. Here's a little bit of trickery, and this is going to be a loss on first down. Jared Richardson's going to be brought down for a 3-yard loss on first down. Looked like it was going to be an end around, and it ended up a little short little shovel pass, but the Lehigh defense not fooled at all. Loss of 3 brings up 2nd and 13. Football at the 34 of Lehigh. Here's a handoff on 2nd down. This will be a gain of about 4 up to the 30-yard line. 4-yard pickup there for Julian Stokes. Brings up 3rd down and 9. From here, a field goal would be 47 yards. 47, 48 yards. For a game-tying field goal try, you know Penn would like to try to get some extra yardage. On 3rd and 9, on a day where Penn is 2 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. O'Brien. On 3rd and 9, Stokes in the backfield with him. Fakes the handoff to Stokes. Here comes a blitz. O'Brien gets out of it. Ball's loose. And O'Brien falls back on it, I think. No, Lehigh has the football. So Lehigh with a turnover on the punt. And Penn gives it right back on a fumble 3 plays later. I don't know how in the world O'Brien didn't fall back on that football for Penn, but it ended up looked like Matt Spatney again with the defensive play for Lehigh. So Penn comes up empty off the turnover on Lehigh, and now Lehigh will try to take advantage. Boy, defenses have all of a sudden picked up, not that they played bad in the game anyway, but they have picked up and made a couple defensive plays for both teams here in the third quarter. And Lehigh will start at their own 42. Updating some scores, Illinois has kicked a field goal over USC to go back up by 7, 17-10. Still Wake Forest leading Georgia Tech 17-3. Wake Forest looking to hand Georgia Tech their first loss of the year. Vanderbilt 28-21 over Utah State. Boy, the Aggies giving the Commodores a battle in the first half there in Nashville. Coming up later, number 1 Ohio State against Washington. Top 15 matchup in the SEC coming up just over an hour from now. LSU and Ole Miss. Number 9, Texas A&M hosting Auburn. Number 11, Indiana at Iowa. And then tonight, number 6, Oregon. Number 3, Penn State. They're in Happy Valley. And a game I will have on the live stream later. Number 17, Alabama. Number 5, Georgia. Big one in the SEC. Nationally ranked BYU Cougars in action later tonight out west against the Colorado Buffaloes. That's a Big 12 matchup. And, of course, we had the upset last night in Charlottesville with Virginia handing number 8 Florida State their first loss. That was a double overtime win for Virginia. And also number 24 TCU going down last night to Arizona State. They're in Tempe. So back in this one, Lehigh off the fumble for Penn takes over at the 42-yard line with 3:03 to play in quarter number 3. Here's a handoff to Yoder on first down. Yoder left side. Yoder across the 45 up to the 49-yard line. There is a flag on this that comes down, so we will see. It's a 7-yard run for Yoder, but we'll check the flag, and this looks like it's coming back on a hold, and it is. So that'll make it 1st and 20 for Lehigh, back at the 32. We're under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Now a 1st and 20 back at the 32-yard line. Johnson takes the snap. Johnson to throw on 1st and 20. Johnson over the middle, incomplete, a little high for his intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 20. Intended receiver was Jamil once again. Second and 20, ball at the 32. 2:34 remaining in the third. Lehigh leading 23-20. High snap. Throw. Man, it's going to be complete across midfield into Penn territory. Jamil once again on the reception, 22 yards on 2nd and 20 and a Lehigh first down. What a game Jamil has had for Lehigh. First down in Penn territory. And this is another handoff on first down left side inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. So pickup of 8 there. That's Jaden Green. Driving the football down to the 39. It's 2nd down and 2. Goes right back to Green. This time, Green met right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he may have lost a couple yards there. Be 3rd down and 4 for Lehigh. Might be 4 down territory here. 3rd and 4. Football sits at the 41 of Penn. Lehigh 5 for 10 on 3rd down conversions today. They need to get to the 37. Johnson looking left side, throws, caught, 1st down. Lehigh out of bounds at the 36 on a 3rd and 4. So it's pick up a 5. And the sticks move for Lehigh. It's Mason Humphrey on the reception. And we'll see if Lehigh elects the 3rd quarter to tick out. They will not have to snap it again, and it doesn't look like they're going to. Three quarters in the books in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Number 10, Lehigh, leading Penn 23-20. Lehigh is down to the Penn 36-yard line when the 4th quarter begins. As we take a look at the stats through 3 quarters. Penn at 208 yards of offense. Lehigh sitting at 391. But for the individual stats, we have to look at Jamil of Lehigh. A 20-yard touchdown run. He's also caught 6 catches for 81 yards. And Yoder, 13 carries, 105 yards for Lehigh tonight. So just all-around play as Johnson has passed for 189. And Lehigh has run for 202 yards tonight. Yoder's rushed for 105. Green has added 65 on the ground. And then Jamil with that 20-yard touchdown run. That was on that fake punt. Two turnovers for Penn, 1 turnover for Lehigh. Lehigh's been penalized 6 times for 65 yards. Penn 3 times for 35 yards. Big time of possession advantage through 3 for Lehigh. 26 minutes, 46 seconds compared to Penn's 18 minutes, 14 seconds. But it's still only a 3-point ball game with Lehigh in front with 15 minutes left in this one as Lehigh looks to stay undefeated and go to 5-0 on the season. A good one going in the Patriot League as we're near the end of the first half. Holy Cross leading Fordham 21-20. Yale leading Cornell in the Ivy League opener 17-14. Game 4 minutes old in the 3rd quarter. A couple other scores around FCS. Columbia leading Georgetown 16-10. Game nearing the end of the 3rd. Central Connecticut's come back to take the lead on Dartmouth 21-20. CAA opener for Albany and New Hampshire. New Hampshire leads that game 14-0. That game's reached the half. But here we're just about ready to start the 4th quarter. Lehigh 1st and 10, just inside the 36-yard line of Penn. Johnson throwing down toward the end zone into traffic. It's going to be a touchdown. Guess who? Jamil with the touchdown reception. That was double coverage. And Jamil still able to come down with it. However, there is a flag. It's a holding call on Penn. That'll be declined, and the touchdown will stand. Jamil, double coverage. Jamil still able to get the football. And a Lehigh touchdown to give them a 9-point lead with the extra point pending. And now we have a stoppage. They actually might be looking. It's a scoring play, so it should be reviewed anyway. Something on here that they want to take a closer look at. So they are reviewing this touchdown, making sure it is a touchdown, or at least I'm assuming that's what they're doing. Of course, I've got the TV feed on here, but of course, for obvious reasons, I keep the volume down, so I don't exactly hear what they're saying. I'm assuming they're reviewing the touchdown catch. Which, if it stands, would give Lehigh a 2-possession lead. What a catch that was by Jamil in double coverage, and what a throw. From quarterback Hayden Johnson. As we are still waiting to see what exactly they come up with here. Touchdown remains on the board. So Lehigh now with a 9-point lead with the extra point to come. Garrido to add the extra point to make it a 10-point game. Garrido, last year's Patriot League Special Teams Player of the Week. Extra point up, and the kick is good, and that gives Lehigh a 10-point lead with 14:52 remaining. 30-20. So 14 consecutive points scored by Lehigh after Penn grabbed a 20-16 lead. They're in that third quarter. This drive for Lehigh, 7 plays, 58 yards, capped off by a touchdown pass of 35 yards from Hayden Johnson to Jeffrey Jamil, and Lehigh leading by 10, 30-20. It was 13-7 Lehigh after one, 16-14 Lehigh had the lead at the break. 23-20, Lehigh in the third. And on the first play here in the fourth quarter, Lehigh punches it in for a 10-point lead. That puts Lehigh well over the 400-yard mark of offense in this game. Here's the kickoff. Short kickoff again, taken at the 27, and not much of a return up to the 35-yard line. So that's where Penn will start this next drive with 14:48 to go. So Penn now needing 2 scores. Will start 1st and 10 from their own 35. O'Brien and the Penn offense back out. O'Brien hands off on first down. This will be a gain of about 3 yards on first down up to the 38. Took half the line on Lehigh to get the stop there. Gain of 3 for Dante West brings up 2nd down and 7. Second down and 7. Ball at the 38. O'Brien looking, throws, pass complete. That's going to be a very short gain up to the 40-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 5. Pass only good for a couple yards, and then that's going to be 15 yards after this on Lehigh. Jared Richardson was out of bounds, clearly out of bounds, and then a Lehigh defender came in and gave him a little shot once he was out of bounds. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Lehigh. You got to be a little bit more disciplined than that. You got to keep your emotions intact. Richardson with the catch. His forward progress was stopped anyway. Then he goes out of bounds, and then after he was out of bounds, a shove for the extra 15 yards. So that moves the football to the Lehigh 45. O'Brien will keep it himself. O'Brien with some running room. He's across the 40-30. Here goes O'Brien to the 25, 20-yard line and out of bounds. A great run by Liam O'Brien. Gets Penn into the red zone. 1st down and 10. O'Brien picks up 20 yards on that scamper. 1st down at the 20 of Lehigh. O'Brien takes the snap. O'Brien does a little screen pass right side. That's not going to amount to much. Gain of a yard, maybe 2. Alex Height with the reception brings up 2nd down. They spot the football at the 18, so 2nd down and 8. O'Brien takes the handoff. O'Brien looking to throw left side end zone. Has a man. Richardson, touchdown Penn. On the corner of the end zone, Richardson with the reception. Lehigh claiming he was out of bounds and didn't have a foot down. We're going to look at the replay right now. Catch for Richardson. You can't tell if his foot was in bounds or not on that angle. They're probably going to review this. As I said, it's a scoring play anyway, so it should get reviewed anyway. But you couldn't tell. He clearly caught it, but you can't. Here's another angle. But again, it's from the back side of the end zone. There's Richardson. He's got the ball there. Did he get it? You can't tell. You can't tell if his foot was. Here's another angle. This is from the behind the other end zone. Might be able to tell a little better here. Catch. No. No, on that angle, I don't think this is going to stand. That was the telling angle right there. It was behind the other end zone, and when Richardson caught it, it did not appear that he got his foot in bounds. Lehigh was adamant down there that it was not a catch. This is the angle here. Catch there, foot out of bounds. Yeah, this is not going to stand, I do not believe. So this is going to go back to second down at the 20. Still looking at this. It looked pretty clear on that other angle behind the other end zone. They're showing it one more time. There's Richardson. There's the catch. But yeah, his right foot does not come down in bounds. I'm surprised this is taking this long. It looked pretty clear on that view from the end zone. Here's the call. Yeah, and they have reversed it to an incomplete pass, which is the correct call. So this will get moved back to the 20. Or I'm sorry, it'll get moved back to the 18, excuse me. Third down and 8. So almost a catch in the corner of the end zone for Richardson, but could not come down with a foot in bounds. Third and 8, O'Brien looking, throws over the middle, pass caught. That is a touchdown for Penn. It went right. He went right back to Richardson over the middle, and it's 30-26 with the extra point pending. 12:48 to go. So Richardson with a touchdown reception. Now they missed an extra point earlier, but not this time, as this time the kick is up and the kick is good. And we have a 3-point game with 12:48 to go. Penn with the answer on the 17-yard touchdown or 18-yard touchdown pass from Liam O'Brien to Jared Richardson. 6-play, 65-yard drive, and then that 18-yard touchdown pass to cut the lead to 3 with the extra point. So now we'll see Lehigh's offense get the ball back. Still with the lead, but it's now only a field goal. So both teams with a touchdown in the first little over 2 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Quite a ball game here between these two teams, with number 10 Lehigh getting a battle from Penn. Boy, Illinois, after getting thumped at Indiana last week, they are coming They are bouncing back quite well. They've added a touchdown. They now lead USC 24-10 in the third quarter. Notre Dame is just destroying Arkansas. That's 49-13 late in the third. Vanderbilt now with a 10-point lead over Utah State. That game's at the half. Georgia Tech finally able to get in the end zone against Wake Forest, but they still trail 20-10, 4 minutes to go in the third. Here we're just about set for the kickoff. Couple FCS score updates to tell you about. Yale now leads Cornell 27-21, Ivy League opener there. Dartmouth has retaken the lead on Central Connecticut 28-21. Austin Peay with a touchdown. Austin Peay ranked number 23, I believe, this week in the FCS poll. They're up to a 7-0 lead on Utah Tech. So here we're set to get a Penn kickoff. .12:48 remaining. It is back to a 3-point lead for Lehigh. And here's the kickoff. Fair catch taken at the 4-yard line, so that will move the ball out to the 25 for Lehigh's next possession. Not a humongous fan of that fair catch on the kickoff rule, but it is what it is. So now Lehigh, we will see the offense back out. Hayden Johnson, who's thrown for 240 yards this afternoon and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 25. Takes the handoff on first down, drops back, throws right side, pass complete. Jamil once again across the 40 up to the 41-yard line. 1st down for Lehigh and a gain of 16. Jamil now approaching the 100-yard receiving mark in this game. 1st down at the 41 after the 16-yard gain. Johnson hands off to Yoder. Yoder is stood up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on 1st down. Penn defense right there to limit Yoder to no gain. Second down and 10 from the 41. Another handoff on 2nd down. This one's not going much of anywhere either. Maybe 2 yards. But again, the Penn defense there to stop the run. As Yoder limited to a 2-yard gain, it'll be 3rd and 8 for Lehigh. A big 3rd down here. 3rd down, Lehigh needs 8 for the 1st. They're at the 43-yard line. They need to get to the Penn 49. Clock nearing 10.5 minutes to play. Johnson to throw. Johnson looking deep down the field, left side, incomplete. And it'll be a 3 and out for Lehigh. And they will be punting, I believe, for the first time in this game. The Penn defense with a big stop and a 3-and-out. So Penn will get the football back with the chance to either tie it with a field goal or retake the lead if they can get into the end zone. Here's the punt. Fielded at the 5-yard line, not much room on the return, makes a little something out of nothing and gets out to about the 15-yard line. But Penn will be backed up inside the 20 with 10:14 to play. Lehigh leading 30-27. So as I mentioned, I will be back on later tonight for a live stream of Alabama, Georgia, that big matchup in the SEC. Then we'll have 2 NFL games on the live stream page tomorrow and Monday. Packers, Cowboys tomorrow night. I originally said Bengals, Broncos on Monday night. That may get changed to the Jets, Dolphins game. I will have that announcement tomorrow on the live stream for sure. And then we'll be on throughout the week for Major League Baseball playoffs. They get underway on Tuesday, so have a lot of baseball on the page for you coming up this week as the wild card round gets underway on Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday if necessary, with the division series getting underway that following Saturday, a week from today. 1 spot left in the National League to determine who that final wildcard team will be. Mets lost last night. The Reds won last night. Diamondbacks lost last night. So the Mets and Reds are tied up for that final wild card spot with 2 to go. Arizona, with their loss, was eliminated last night. So it's going to be either the Mets or Reds getting that final spot in the National League. American League is down to 1 spot as well for that final wild card spot. Detroit leading Houston by a game. 2 games left in the regular season in Major League Baseball. Back here at the 15-yard line, Penn starts this next drive, down 3. Fakes the handoff. That pass tipped and intercepted. It was deflected and it's picked off by Lehigh at the 20-yard line. Interception by Mackay Smith. I didn't see who deflected that pass, but it ended up right in the hands of Smith, the sophomore defensive back for Lehigh. So Penn, another turnover, gives it back to Lehigh deep in Penn territory. First down, Lehigh from the Penn 20-yard line. So they're starting this drive in the red zone. Turnover number 3 on the game for Penn. Johnson and the offense right back out for Lehigh. Johnson, here's the handoff. And this will be a good gain for Green of 6 yards up to the 14, bringing up 2nd down and 4. Go under 10 minutes to play. 2nd down 4. Football sitting right at the 14-yard line. Lehigh definitely in field goal range, but a touchdown would make it a 2-score spread. Johnson, here's another handoff on 2nd down. This is Green inside the 5 to the 4. 1st and goal, Lehigh. So Lehigh trying to take advantage of a very short field caused by the interception. 1st and goal at the 4 for Lehigh. Under 9 minutes. Johnson. Again, Green in the backfield with him. It's another give to Green, and Green will be stopped as he gets to the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal coming for Lehigh. Green's going to go to the sideline for a little breather. Yoder coming in to replace him at the running back position. 2nd and goal, football at the 2 for Lehigh. Letting the play clock tick down this time. Hasn't really been a factor today. Johnson takes the high snap, gives it off to Yoder, and Yoder will not get there. He got to the 1. It'll be 3rd and goal for Lehigh. Penn looking for a goal line defensive stand. 3rd and goal from the 1. Midway point of the 4th quarter. Johnson takes the snap. Johnson off to Yoder, and he's in for the touchdown from a yard out. Yoder punches it in from a yard out, and it's back to a 2-score lead for Lehigh. Garrido to add the extra point to make it a 10-point lead with 7:22 to go. Snap is good, as is the kick. 7:22 remaining. Lehigh goes back up by 10, and they take advantage of the interception and take a 2-score lead. That was a 5-play drive, 20 yards. Luke Yoder, 1-yard touchdown run. As Lehigh is approaching the 500-yard of offense mark. They're at 464. Penn at 257 yards of offense. As Lehigh, 7 minutes and 22 seconds away from moving to 5-0 on the season. Trying to keep their top 10 national ranking in the FCS poll. Come into this game at number 10. Yoder now 109 yards rushing on 17 carries today. And now Penn down 2 scores again, and time starting to become a factor. Here's the kickoff. Taken at the 19, across the 20, 25-yard line, and dropped right at the 30-yard line. And that's where this next Penn drive will start with 7:16 to go. So back comes Liam O'Brien and the Penn offense, back down by 10 again. As Lehigh has put up 21 points in this second half. So here we go. Does Penn have another answer in them? They need 2 scores again. Starting this drive just inside the 30. O'Brien, a little bit of a low snap. Pass is going to be caught up to the 34-yard line. Gain of close to 5 on first down. Be second down and 5 coming up for the Quakers. Jared Richardson on the reception. Tenth catch today for Richardson. Second and 5. O'Brien, screen pass, right side. This will be a first down for Penn and a lot more. 40, 50, there he goes. 40, 30, 20, and out of bounds. And on 2 plays, Penn has marched it into the red zone on a screen pass to Julian Stokes, and he moves it inside the 20-yard line of Lehigh. "46 yards on that screen pass. First down at the 19. Clock running, 6:20. And now we have a whistle. Got a timeout called. No, actually, it's going to be a review of. Not sure what exactly they could be reviewing here. It was a simple screen pass to the right side. He's not even close to out of bounds until he reaches the 19-yard line. Can't fathom what they would exactly be looking at here. Okay, so whatever they were reviewing was a very quick review, as they have spotted the football officially at the 18. They probably said on the ESPN broadcast what exactly the review was for, but again, for obvious reasons, I have the volume down on my TV. Hard to fathom. I didn't see anything there that was worth reviewing, but nonetheless, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a handoff. This is Stokes, and Stokes gets up to the 16. Gain of a couple brings up second down 8. Clock running, 5:45 in the 4th. Second down and 8. O'Brien, screen pass again left side. And this will be a minimal gain this time of only about a yard up to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for Penn. If you can get a field goal here, it would still bring you within 1 score. But you know Penn's wanting that touchdown. 3rd and 7. Penn is 3 for 7 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. They need to get to the 8 for a first down. O'Brien looking, throwing toward the end zone, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and Penn may have to settle for a field goal try here to try to make this a 1-score game. O'Brien looked like originally like he was going to try to run that for something, and then it decided to pass it into a little bit of coverage there. So this will be a field goal attempt of 33 yards to try and make this a 7-point game. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And that makes it a 7-point game, 37-30. As Mason Walters kicks it from, officially they mark that 32. So a 32-yard field goal, and we have ourselves a 7-point game with 4:50 to go. Both teams have their full complement of 3 timeouts. That drive for Penn, 6 plays, 56 yards. Set up by the long pass play on the screen pass for 47 yards to Julian Stokes. Boy, these are great numbers for Liam O'Brien. 26 of 31 passing the football, 285 yards. Richardson and Owens, 10 catches apiece for Penn, both over the 100-yard receiving mark. Penn hasn't gotten much done on the running game at all. It's been all in the passing attack. Because the sacks will go as rushing yards, of course. So Penn, taking the sacks into account, has only rushed for 29 yards in this game. So it's a 7-point game with 4:50 to go, and here's the kickoff. Taken at the 5 and a fair catch right there. So that will move the football to the 25-yard line for Lehigh. So back comes Hayden Johnson and the Lehigh offense. Hayden Johnson's had a pretty good game himself, too. Not necessarily on completion percentage, but he's really moved the ball around. 15 of 31 for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lehigh starts this drive at the 25. Handoff on first down, big hole, and bit by the turf monster. That could have been a lot bigger gain for Yoder, but he slipped down at the 33-yard line, gain of 8, 2nd down and 2. Boy, Yoder had a lot of room to run, and the turf monster came and got him after an 8-yard gain. 2nd and about 1.5 yards. Football sitting just inside the 34. Johnson, another give to Yoder, and Yoder takes the handoff, gets a first down up to the 37-yard line. A new set of downs for Lehigh and a chance to work on the clock as we've ticked under 4 minutes. Luke Yoder having a game this afternoon for Lehigh. Football at the 37, 1st and 10. All 3 timeouts, both teams, plus the 2-minute timeout. Johnson takes the snap, man in motion, and again a handoff. And up to the 41-yard line. That gain will go for 4 yards. Clock continuing to tick. 3rd consecutive carry on this drive for Luke Yoder. 2nd and 6 for Lehigh at the 41. $240 yards on the ground this afternoon for Lehigh. Here's another running play. Running room left side. This will be another first down for Lehigh and more into Penn territory. That's Green rushing up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 12. Green a little slow getting up. He got hobbled in the first half, but gets back up here. So 2 big first downs for Lehigh on this drive, and this clock is going to tick down to the 2-minute timeout. So we're going to have to see Penn use their timeouts on defense to try to get this back. 2 minutes remaining. Lehigh with a 37-30 lead, looking to stay unbeaten and go to 5-0 on the season. Good one here between these two teams. The state of Pennsylvania bragging rights in this game for these two teams. 491 now on the total yards mark in this game for Lehigh. Luke Yoder for Lehigh up to 125 yards rushing on 20 carries. Green is just 6 yards shy of 100. He's at 94 on 14 carries. And Lehigh, you figure, is going to keep it on the ground here and make Penn burn those timeouts on defense. Lehigh looking to keep their top 10 mark in the FCS poll. Another Ivy League team coming into Goodman Stadium next week for Lehigh as Yale comes in. Penn next week will open up Ivy League play as they will host Dartmouth. That will be their home opener as well. With 2 minutes to go here, Lehigh leading this game by 7. They have a first down in Penn territory when we come back out of the 2-minute timeout. Football is at the 48-yard line of Penn. Penn has to get a stop now. They can stop it 3 times. They have all 3 of their timeouts, which they're going to have to use on defense now. Here's a handoff on first down. That'll be a gain of 4 right there on first down. Timeout Penn with 1:56 to go. Those 4 yards for Yoder give him 129 on the game now. So Penn now with 2 timeouts left. A must stop here. A first down here will end the game. Couple of score updates for you. Number 16, Georgia Tech battling back against Wake Forest. They were down 20-3 in that game. Now it's 20-17 in the fourth. Illinois 31-17 over USC. Illinois bouncing back in a big way from their thumping they took at Indiana last week. Second down, 6 here out of the timeout. Lehigh at the 44. It's another carry for Yoder. And Yoder up to the 39, picks up 5. He's a yard short of a first down. Timeout Penn. They're down to 1. They're going to mark it at the 40, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 on a must 3rd down stop coming up for Penn. So Penn now down to 1 timeout. And Lehigh, I was gonna say, do you risk rolling the dice here and getting Penn off guard a little bit and throwing a pass? But I don't think so. You keep it on the ground, it's been working. Third down and 2 following the timeout. First down here ends it. Right at the 40. Lehigh needs to get to the 38 for a first down. Here's the snap, and it is a run, and it is going to be a first down, and that's going to seal this win for Lehigh. Yoder picks up 6 on 3rd and 2. Penn will use their final timeout, but it's academic at this point, barring a botched snap or something. So Lehigh, in this hard-fought battle with Penn, is 146 away from pulling out the victory and moving to 5-0 on the season. That last run for Yoder puts Lehigh over the 500-yard mark of total offense today as well. So Lehigh will have to snap it twice. They can take 2 knees here and get out of here with a win and go to 5-0. Penn will fall to 1-1 on the season. I failed to mention something I wanted to mention earlier and did not get around to it. Starting this year, Ivy League has not participated in the FCS playoffs. That will change this year. They will participate in the playoffs this year. So whoever wins the Ivy League will get the playoff bid this year. Here's Yoder again on the carry up to the 25-yard line. Penn out of timeouts. Lehigh will have to snap it. They'll have to snap it a couple more times here. What a game for Yoder. And what another offensive performance for Lehigh today as they go over 500 yards of offense. Be careful. I know it's not their thing going into victory formation, but be careful here. Just again, there was a little bit of a high snap right there. Yoder is going to take this to the end zone to seal the deal. Touchdown, Lehigh. Exclamation point. Yoder had a big hole up the middle. I thought he may just go down prior to getting to the end zone, but he takes it all the way, and it's 43-30 with the extra point pending, 58 seconds to go. Extra point try up, and the kick is good. And it's 44-30 Lehigh with 58 seconds to go. Yoder now 25 carries, 173 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. A phenomenal performance by him this afternoon. And Lehigh is 58 seconds away from moving to 5-0 on the season. $299 yards on the ground as a team for Lehigh in this game. And they have put up 21 points in this fourth quarter to finally put this one on ice. As a team total, 539 yards of total offense for Lehigh. So a great individual game for Liam O'Brien passing the football for Penn. Is going to be in a losing effort, but what a game he had. Here's the kickoff. It's a little squib kick. Picked up at the 22, across the 30, 35, 40-yard line, and up to the 42-yard line. And that's where Penn will start this next drive with 52 seconds to go. Again, Penn has their home opener and their Ivy League opener coming up next week against Dartmouth. Lehigh will stay at home and have Yale coming in. Lehigh should keep their spot in the top 10 in the FCS poll this week when the new poll comes out at the beginning of the week. First down at the 41-yard line for Penn. 52 seconds to go. O'Brien rolling right and throws incomplete. A little bit out of the reach and over the head of his intended receiver, which was Sean Williams Jr. It'll be second down for Penn. Clock stopped with 47 seconds to go. So a very game effort here for the Penn Quakers on the road against a top 10 team in the FCS, but it's going to come up a little bit short. Second and 10 from the 41. O'Brien looking. O'Brien gets out of a sack, rolls right, throws right side out of bounds, incomplete. Third down and 10, 39 seconds to go. Third down and 10 for Penn, football at the 41. O'Brien takes the high snap, has to get rid of it quickly, and throws a little screen pass left side. This is going to be a first down for Penn and out of bounds into Lehigh territory. The catch was completed to Jared Richardson, and that will move the sticks for Penn. Boy, a high snap threw that timing off. O'Brien had to get rid of it, but Richardson was there, and the ball is placed at the 43-yard line. That puts O'Brien over the 300-yard passing mark today. First down at the 43, 33 seconds to go. O'Brien takes the snap. O'Brien looks, throws downfield to a wide open receiver. Catch made inside the 30 to the 28. That's Richardson again. Clock will stop momentarily to move the chains. And a spike for O'Brien with 25 seconds to go. Boy, Penn continuing to fight here. Be second and 10 at the 28. O'Brien takes the snap. O'Brien looking down the field. That's to the end zone. Too high and incomplete. Intended receiver that time was BC Owens. There is a flag down around where the quarterback released the football. Which sometimes usually indicates a roughing. And that is indeed what it is, roughing the passer against Lehigh. So that will add 15 more for Penn and move the football inside the 15-yard line. So the football is moved to the 13-yard line after the penalty with 17 seconds left. I mean, we've seen stranger things. If Penn gets a quick score here, recovers an onside kick. I mean, stranger things have happened. O'Brien. Boy, taking a lot of time here, though. O'Brien rolling to his right, throwing to the end zone, incomplete out of the back of the end zone. But that play took 11 seconds. We're down to 6 seconds. There's another flag that comes in. Looks like we got a little bit of jawing going on here. The flag was thrown around the 22-yard line. Again, almost in the area of where O'Brien released it. It is roughing the passer again against Lehigh. Okay, again, it's one of those, I know you can't just stop your momentum as a defender, but in 2025 football rules, that's a penalty, whether we like it or not. Timeout called by Lehigh here. This is probably just to not let too many emotions get away here. Don't need a dumb penalty that would lead to an ejection for next week. And I think that's what head coach Kevin Cahill called the timeout for. Six seconds to go. Penn has a 1st and goal. Trying to get one more score on the board before the end of this one. So 1st and goal for Penn. With 6 seconds to go. Maybe the final play here. Final offensive play. O'Brien takes the snap, throws, left side, touchdown Penn. With 1 second remaining, the touchdown reception. Correction. No, it was knocked. I'm sorry. I thought Richardson came down with that. It was knocked away at the last moment. So incomplete. And we're down to 1 second. So this will for sure be the final offensive play of the game. O'Brien takes the snap, rolling right, clock expires, throwing, and that is incomplete. And that's how this football game will come to a close. The Lehigh Mountain Hawks move to 5-0 on the season as they defeat Penn 44-30 this afternoon in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Lehigh moves to 5-0. Penn will drop to 1-1 on the season. Five and 0 start for Lehigh. Their first 5-0 start in 13 years. And they should remain in the top 10 in the FCS poll next week. Final numbers, Lehigh, 539 yards of offense. Penn at 344. Big time of possession advantage for Lehigh, 36 minutes compared to Penn's 24 minutes. Individual numbers. Hayden Johnson for Lehigh, 15 of 31 passing, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. His leading receiver was Jamil, eight receptions, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Davino had the other touchdown reception, 2 catches for 29 yards and the touchdown. Humphreys, 3 catches for 63 yards, a catch each for Yoder and Feaster. Running the football, Yoder, 25 carries, 173 yards. Green carried it 14 times for 94 yards, just missed that 100-yard mark. Jamil had a rushing touchdown. That was on that fake field goal. That 20-yard rushing touchdown. Yoder had 2 rushing touchdowns today for Lehigh. On the other side for Penn, Liam O'Brien, 28 of 37 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns, did have that 1 interception. His leading target was Richardson, 12 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 10 catches for Owens for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. Stokes, Height, and Ellis each caught 2 passes apiece. Not much in the running game. Stokes, the leading rusher, 5 carries, 37 yards. West rushed it 3 times for 11 yards, but just nothing really going in the running game today for Penn, as they did turn it over 3 times in this game. As Lehigh wins at 44-30 and mentioned moves to 5-0. They have Yale coming in next week. Penn drops to 1-1. They have their home opener and Ivy League opener next week against Dartmouth. Again, my name is John, Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube. If you like my content, would appreciate a like and subscribe. That would really help out. Also on Kick today at Sports Kick John. Do have content on Twitch as well under Sport Guru John. I will be back later tonight for live stream of Alabama and Georgia games coming up, I believe, 7:45 or so Eastern time, so I'll be on about 5 minutes prior to that SEC matchup between Alabama and Georgia. Appreciate you joining me this afternoon, and I will talk to you later on for Alabama.